See if I can set this up. Check out the outdoor shower. Hello there. I'm trying to do more vlogs. I mean, this location is gorgeous. I refer to it as an oasis. It's so peaceful. No New York City horns and, fire engines and police and ambulance going by. Oh my God, just listen to this. It's just amazing here. I want to talk about people. This winter was quite, the eye opener. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. But you know what? I gotta be honest, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to be more open, more personal, and more honest, because a lot of communication is not happening in the real world. So we use the media to do it now, and this is my way of expressing myself and sharing. So here goes. I'm a strong believer in that everything happens for a reason. When I was, ready to go, as I usually do in January, my mother fell, as you heard me speak of. And, I made peace with the fact that I was gonna do my first winter in 8 years in New York, cold winters, and I made peace with that. So, feeling that like it was my place to be there. I was supposed to be there when she fell, So I went with it. My aunt passed away, so if I was traveling somewhere in the world, I would have had to fly home to be, to show my respects, because she was a great loss for our family. She helped us all get here, and she was the matriarch, and just a really a solid figure for the family. She was very straightforward. She was very honest. If she had something to say, she just said it. And growing up, I didn't appreciate that. I did not. It was not something that, I welcomed, because she was tough. But I did learn some valuable lessons from her, and part of that was how to be strong, how to stand up for myself and not take shit. And she didn't. She was one of those people that would just, without filter, just say it as it was, as she saw it. We didn't understand it, we didn't like it, but when you lose someone like that in your family, you tend to appreciate it. And I really think I get that from her, because I do not bite my tongue. I am straightforward, I am honest, I tell people what I'm feeling. Some of my family, they don't appreciate that. But anyway, my mom fell, and it was eye-opening in that people were just busy. People were just so caught up in their life. I think it was traumatizing for me. I heard the fall. I remember being in a living room and I heard a thump. And usually if I hear something, I usually say, "Hey, Mom, you okay?" And she didn't answer. So I ran and found her laying there. I can't begin to put into words what that feels like. Face down, and I picked her up, and she was just so confused. But anyway, that's something that stays with me even now. Leaving her was hard, but I'm so happy to say that she's doing better. And it's just that leaving her this time was harder, because she had just lost her last surviving sibling. So anyway, that said, my sister was in an accident, and so she was in therapy, so she couldn't show up. And my cousins visited one weekend, but otherwise, no one else showed up. So when my nephew, my middle nephew, who's married and has obligations, was celebrating his anniversary in New York, and saw pictures posted on social media, where else? Um, it was kind of surprising to me that no acknowledgement was made, as in, maybe sending a text, maybe saying, hey, we're going to be in New York, we have these plans, but, we won't be able to stop by, because it was fresh. It was, I think, less than 2 weeks after mom had fallen, and, spending time taking her to all these doctor's appointments, the emergency room, the nonstop, just ongoing, and just doing it alone. Me doing it alone was really overwhelming, to say the least. I'm not complaining by any means. In retrospect, I'm so glad that I've had the opportunity to be there for my mom, and I'm there. I have the freedom. I'm not obligated by family and a crazy life. Mind you, I look at that as a choice. I've made the choice to remain single and live this kind of life. It's that wealth is what I call it, to have that freedom to be able to show up and take care of your mother when she needs you. That is wealth to me, Texted my nephew and I said, hey, are you in town? And then no answer. I think it was, but 2 weeks later I got a reply that said, oh, sorry. Yeah, we were celebrating our anniversary, had plans before. So it's just a reminder. I said, hey, just a reminder, your grandmother fell, and I think it would be nice if you kind of showed up, because it, would lift her spirits. Mom has been there for every one of us in our lives, in, upbringing, daily. She's just such a force, such a positive force in all our lives. And I don't want people to forget that, and take that for granted. So anyway, next thing you know, I was blocked from all his social media. There was no more responding. And at first I thought, that can't be happening. That's not real. My nephew didn't just block me, but also his wife blocked me. And to me, it's, you look at that, and, when you're in a place of like just doing what you need to take care of your mom, you just got to say, fuck it, and move the hell on. And I don't have time for that. So I left it alone. What else can you do? My aunt passed away, and we were at the funeral, and he said hello. He said hello. Clearly, we're at a funeral. Clearly, there's something serious happening here, and it concerns me that that's the way we react at a funeral. Nothing matters at that point. I think nothing should matter. Everything should go out the window. We should be adults. We are adults. Anyway, so at some point I approached him and I said, are we good? And he said yes, and I think he was eager to talk about it, and we cleared the air, and I made it very clear that I love him. He is part of my family, my very small family. I don't consider many people family, even family. But he is one of the people I do consider family. So I made sure and point out to him that, because I live a pretty, nomadic life. I get up and go. I have gotten accustomed to just being okay alone. So the scary part for me is that when someone isolates me, it's not a great big deal. That's the sad part. That's the scary part for me, because I'm a little too okay. But that said, I know that he's important to me, so I made the effort, and we talked, we hugged it out. There is love, but again, we so rely on social media, we so get caught up in this thing right here that we forget that there are people behind it, real people, people with feelings, people with hearts, people, flesh and bone. So anyway, we made up, we had a good talk, and we said we loved each other, and it's been squashed. But I'm hoping, nevertheless, it happened, and it's been eye-opening to, be there alone for months before you see people, before you see family show up. And everyone's got obligations and everyone's, trying to survive. But not just family, I mean friends. Just people are just so caught up. I wanted to point that out because that broke my heart. I think I was a little depressed. Not I think, I was depressed for a few weeks. People who are older will be like, oh, what's the big deal? Here's something you need to understand. Social media is how we connect. It's how we share things today. And if you're not doing this half the time or most of the time, you're excluded. Because people are not picking up the phones. I mean, I've texted friends and, how are you? Hey, I'm good. Done. There's nothing else to be said. But anyway, on that note, I am thankful for my family. I love my family. My nephews are amazing. I am learning lessons at this age, getting older. But anyway, thank you for listening. Please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed for notifications of my uploads, please hit the subscribe button. Like this and comment. I welcome comments, please. Let me know that I'm connecting out there. Alright, it's important. Alright, God bless. Something's not working for you, change it. From Malaga, Spain, this is Sean. Love you.